everybody. Recording live from somewhere.
Welcome to the Recruiting Trail, Lambos Motorsports. Welcome to the Recruiting Trail. Like I said, Totem Pole Nation, we love you. Y'all going to be big-time YouTubers, live streamers, and content creators. We got a lot of things to talk about. I'm going back, and I'm taking over the Recruiting Trail. I'm going to go over the Recruiting Trail for basketball and college football. When college football starts, I'm going to do college football recruiting. As of now, I'm going to try to get most of this basketball recruiting stuff out the way. I previously did 11 episodes of this, and I know it's been a while, but I am back. And like I said, we're a team in Totem Pole Nation, so I'm very excited. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get started with Arkansas. John Calipari is the new head coach of Arkansas. Surprisingly, him leaving from Kentucky to Arkansas was a surprise. Cynthia Bentley, thank you for tuning in to Lambos Motorsports. We love you. We appreciate you. This was shocking by me, and I'm very angry and frustrated that this happened, but it's the past. And I wanted to apologize to John Calipari for saying, some not appropriate stuff for Totem Pole Nation for what I said about him leaving Kentucky. Now, I'm not going to get into the details of why he left Kentucky, but I know part of the reason why is that he knows a billionaire that used to work at Tyson's or whatever, some billionaire, and they're connected. So it's all about not what you know, it's who you know. So he knows somebody, and now he's the coach of Arkansas. Let's get into it. College basketball recruiting for the 2024 season. Right now, since John Calipari has shifted from Kentucky to Arkansas right now is number 3 in the basketball recruiting, right behind Alabama and right behind Duke. Duke, always number 1, didn't really do nothing in the tournament. Alabama just came off, I think they came off a Final Four loss. In Arkansas, Eric Musselman, the head coach, I think went to another program. Eric Musselman was the head coach of Arkansas. Arkansas made some moves, and now he went to USC now. So right now, Arkansas is number 3 in the basketball recruiting right now. They got 3 5-stars and 5 4-stars. So right now, they got 8 recruits. Now, first thing I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna name the specifics of these guys, and it's gonna take a while. So first thing I'm gonna do before I get into the transfers and stuff, we're gonna get to the letters of intent. And this guy right here, we're going to look at right here. His name is going to be Billy Richmond, right? Billy Richmond. Billy Richmond is out of Camden, New Jersey, class of 2024. He is signed with Arkansas. He signed with Arkansas over Alabama, Memphis, Kentucky, and LSU. Obviously, I think most of those guys would have went to Kentucky, but John Calipari got the job. All right, so we're looking at these players. I like to, talk about the weaknesses and the strengths that they could possibly bring to the team. As far as stats and stuff, I don't care about high school stats. So when it comes to Billy Richmond, he's great athletic. He's very good at a lefty. He's highly competitive and plays with a high motor, and his attacking mentality is great. He's an athletic runner. He runs very well. He's explosive. He can rise up through contact with force. He has natural body, stronger frame, and is both in his upper body and his lower body, and he has to keep on adding muscle. Michael K is here for this. Thank you, Michael, for tuning in to Totem Pole Nation. When he plays with the basketball, he's a drive-first style with the ball in his hands. He gets downhill extremely well when driving to the dominant left side of the hand. His constant threat to making a big play in transition and capable of finishing with a variety of power, explosiveness, and touch. He also can create he's creating for others, but increasingly frequently late. He is a little bit of a turnover-prone guy, but it's high school. Everybody turned the ball over a little bit. He's a little more controlled and less dynamic with the ball in his right hand, so obviously he needs to work on his right hand. He's very inconsistent with his outside shooting. He only shot 25% from the EYBL league. It's one of the biggest leagues in like the whole world when it comes to the high school guys and guys getting recruited and all that stuff. He only shot 25%. Like I said, with John Calipari's system, what he's going to bring from Kentucky to Arkansas, you're not going to be shooting a lot of threes. You're going to be being aggressive. You're going to go to the paint. That is John Calipari's game. You're not going to be jacking threes like Golden State. Naturally, he's a harder ball, and sometimes red flags his mechanics. He's more comfortable shooting off the dribble than the catch. His defense, he utilizes physical tools and competitiveness to be a playmaker both on and off sides of the ball. May not necessarily have much length, he may not have a lot of length. He's also a solid wing rebounder who likes to take the ball off the glass and start the break himself. So, like I said, this guy, Billy Richmond, the father, a former guard for Memphis Tigers and Vanderbilt Commodores basketball. So, man, this guy is his father played in big time. So, small forward, 6'5", 200 pounds. Arkansas, they're going to bring it. And like I said, he's not going to be the only guy. The second guy that I'm going to bring up, they got 3 guys with a letter of intent, and they also have 5 guys that transferred from Kentucky. One of them transferred from FAU. Dylan, what is up? What is going on? Thank you for tuning in. All right, so the next player we're going to get into, we look at this recruiting trail, Boogie Flann. Boogie Flann is from Archbishop, White Plains, New York. He's a combo guard, 6'2", 170. He signed with Arkansas over Alabama, Kentucky, Indiana, and Michigan. Now, he could have went to Kentucky. They got 2 combo guards. Alabama has 0, but he finally, says, okay, I want to play with John Calipari. So, like I said, a lot of players that committed for John Calipari, when he immediately left the job for Arkansas, most of them have already went to Arkansas. So when it comes to this guy and Boogie Flann, this guy is a skilled guard. He's one of the biggest assets in the ability to shoot the basketball. He can heat up. He can start making tough shots. Would you rather watch a tree grow or a knee? Not inappropriate comment. He is 30% shot behind the three-point line. Obviously, both of these guys that I mentioned have struggled to shoot from the three-point line. But in John Calipari's system of basketball, as far as college basketball, when you're actually winning plays, most teams are not going to just jack threes. It's not a Steph Curry system. Flann, young for his grade or for his age, he's undersized and slightly natural built. He has long arms. His lack of strength can sometimes limit his ability to play through contact. He has great range on his floater, and he can get to the free throw line. This guy has also spent most of his high school career playing off the ball, but he has developed into a reliable secondary ball handler and who has become increasingly capable of initiating the offense. That is what you need in John Calipari when you're playing a combo guard. You got to be able to take initiative. You got to be able to be a leader, right? But also in the system of John Calipari, you're not going to have 1 or 2 guys averaging 30 points a game in Kentucky. You have some of those guys, but everybody has to be able to contribute. Also, his pace with the ball, both on open floor and coming off ball screens. He has a great left hand. He's definitely got it tighter with his handle over the years. He has long arms. He has quick hands. He's a very skilled shooter. He defends with playmaking mindset. Like I said, he has about 2 steals a game in the EYBL league, and he can pick up and pressure the ball away from the basket. Very skilled shooter. He can make tough shot, but he has to continue to grow his upper body, build up his body, and learn the impact game in other ways without just scoring. And he has to be able to have the ability to be more efficient. The third guy that they signed with the letter of intent from Arkansas is this guy right here. The last guy that we're going to talk about, Carter Knox. Carter Knox, 6'5", 225, small forward, overtime elite, out of Atlanta, Georgia. He signed with Arkansas over Louisville, Kentucky, Arizona State, and Auburn. Like I said, half of these guys that were supposed to go to Kentucky go to Arkansas. So that's not going to be that much of a surprise. So when it comes to Carter Knox, he's the younger brother of Kevin Knox. Kevin Knox did play at the University of Kentucky, and I think he's still with the New York Knicks, if I'm being correct. If not, he's playing somewhere else, or he might be playing overseas. But, excuse me, I hadn't heard much of Kevin Knox since Kentucky, but Kevin Knox was, I think, on the 2015 or 2016 team in Kentucky. He's not quite as big, but he has long arms, naturally built, soft hands, and good timing when it comes to different circumstances and a versatile skill set. He's a big shooting threat from three. He has a compact release and is capable of making some threes on the move. He's proven to be efficient inside the arc in his high school career. He has very good perimeter footwork and can attack either off the dribble without wasting a lot of motion, and can play through contact. That's important. You got to play through contact, especially in the SEC. The SEC in basketball has gotten a lot better. He's also shown flashes of passing ability and unselfishness, is also a quality rebounder. He can definitely pull up the threat in the mid-range and showing increased willingness to punish small defenders in the post. Defensively, he is not as quick, laterally quick, but he has enough size to be effective. He has to work on the defense. But the key thing is to be consistently locked in through the times, and with being on his high school team where you show less sense of urgency on that end of the floor. See, that's the problem. When you play for John Calipari, you got to play defense. So hopefully he can work on that. Like I said, John Calipari is definitely going to relate because, Kevin Knox has played in the system. Now, as of now, there's been a lot of transfers. They brought in 5 guys so far, right? 3 of them are from Kentucky. DJ Wagner, immediate transfer, go ahead and plays with John Calipari. Adu Thero, 6'7", 220 small forward, also transfers to go play with John Calipari. Johnell Davis, a 6'4", 203 shooting guard. Johnell Davis is very great elite point guard. He can definitely shoot. He transfers from FAU, and he also got Jonas Adu, 6'11 center, 234 pounds, from Tennessee to Arkansas. And Zavon Izovic, I think it's from another country, 7'2", 234. It's also transferred from Arkansas. So the schedule of college basketball hasn't really officially come out yet. But let's be real and let's ask questions. How is Arkansas going to be? We know that John Calipari is a very great coach. He knows how to coach elite talent. John Calipari has been in the Final Fours. I mean, he's done well at UMass. He's done well at Memphis. He's done well. He's the second winningest coach in the University of Kentucky. How will Arkansas be efficient? College basketball is very difficult because you don't know who's going to win. And I think UConn is going to three-peat. Can this team possibly compete with UConn? I don't know. John Calipari's got more experience, but right now the best college basketball coach right now is Dan Hurley. So bringing in most of the transfers from Kentucky, 3 of them Kentucky, got 1 from Tennessee, 1 from FAU. And they also lost some guys in the transfer portal as well, and some guys that graduated because, they lost a coach in Eric Musselman. He went to USC. So we'll see how good Arkansas can be. Arkansas has improved the last 3 to 4 years. They've been in March Madness. So I think Arkansas has a chance to be very, very efficient in the SEC. They'll probably be number 2 or number 3. South Carolina was pretty legit last year. Tennessee was pretty good. So Arkansas, John Calipari, it's the new era. I guess he's going to try to prove Kentucky wrong that he could possibly win a national championship with Arkansas. I think Arkansas at some point in the last 8 years, if I'm correct, they may have made the Elite 8. So this roster is still loading. When John Calipari got there, they didn't really have a team because everybody either graduated or they transferred because Eric Musselman was no longer there. So as of right now, they signed 3 guys to letter of intent, and they got 5 transfers. They probably got more transfers pending, but I think Arkansas has a chance to possibly be a threat for the SEC in March Madness. And Don't forget that I said this in June, and then it happens in February or March, and you see how good Arkansas really is. Yeah, I told you so, because John Calipari can coach. But thank you, Totem Pole Nation, for locking into the recruiting trail. We're going to keep doing this recruiting trail for basketball, football. Like I said, I'm going to give you updates on all the teams when it comes to recruiting. We love you, Totem Pole Nation, Lambeau's Water Sports. We appreciate you. Like I said, we're the low man on the totem pole, and y'all Totem Pole fans out there have a chance to be big-time live streamers, YouTubers, and big-time content creators. We love you. This is Recruiting Trail, episode 11. We will be back